Welcome to my review of the TiSpine, a new knife made by LionSteel in Magnago, Italy. As you may know, besides their own products, LionSteel does a lot of collaboration work. For example, they produce the latest Pull-Force knife product line, like the Pull-Force Foxtrot. And they also manufacture knives for DPX gear. The head behind DPX gear is the well-known documentary filmmaker Robert Young Pelton, and the design of the TiSpine actually goes back to him. If you're familiar with DPX gear's tactical knives, it's quite obvious why the TiSpine is not marketed under the DPX gear brand. This knife is a typical LionSteel knife. It refers more to the award-winning LionSteel SR1 than to any other knife. And it's definitely not a tactical knife. LionSteel always pushes the limit of what is possible in mass production of knives. A big milestone in the company history was the release of the SR1. The SR1 was the first knife with a handle that was milled from one solid piece of titanium. The TiSpine is the second model that is built from a monolithic block of titanium. LionSteel uses a 4-axis Cnc milling machine. In addition to the 3 regular axes X, Y and Z, there is a 4th rotational axis allowing the workpiece to be rotated. This way, LionSteel can mill the complex 3D handle shape, including this fluted pattern. Please note that the fluting pattern continues from one side of the handle over the spine to the other side of the handle. It's one continuous pattern. And if you look at the spine of the handle, you know why this knife is called TiSpine. This advanced milling technique is not only used for aesthetic reasons, it also allows for very tight tolerances and it helps reduce the number of parts. You don't need any standoffs or backspacers. The remaining parts here are the pivot screw, the stop pin, the ball detent, and of course the pocket clip. The overall result is a perfect blend of weight and strength. Let's quickly go over the specs. The closed length is 112 mm. The total length is 195 mm. The blade length is 85 mm and the blade thickness is 3.5 mm. The weight comes in at 100 grams. Size-wise, the LionSteel TiSpine is a tad larger than a Spyderco Delica 4 and it's a bit smaller than a Spyderco Endura 4. Since I've already mentioned the handle construction, let's see what else we need to cover. The slightly arched shape of the handle gives a comfortable grip. This cutout here makes it easier to access the opening hole, but at the same time it also functions as a partial finger groove. The fluted texture provides a decent amount of traction. The handle comes with a lanyard hole and a very unobtrusive low-riding pocket clip, which is right-hand tip-up only. I have to admit I had to practice a little bit to overcome the initial detent resistance. When the blade is closed, a detent ball rests in a detent hole in the tang to prevent unintended opening. The resulting in-handle retention is quite strong, which is a good thing in my opinion. Once you have overcome the initial detent, the opening action is very smooth. By the way, the blade rides on Teflon washers. The locking mechanism is a rock-solid frame lock. The lock bar snaps into place with authority. The lockup is very precise, exactly as it is supposed to be. Although the knife is obviously made for right-handed people, you can even open and close it with your left hand. The lock bar covers only a small portion of the opening hole, and as you can see, you can open it with your left hand, and you can even close it with your left hand. And it feels even more natural to me because I am a lefty. Personally, I wouldn't mind if the TiSpine was a strictly two-hand opening knife. In my opinion, speed of deployment is secondary to a classy, elegant knife like this. As for the blade shape is a drop point design. The blade comes with a nicely done satin finish, a high flat grind, and a secondary bevel. The spine of the blade has some subtle jimping and a tapered swedge. The blade steel is Almax by the Swedish steel company Uddeholm. The blade is hardened to 59 to 60 HRC. The TiSpine is my first knife with Almax blade steel, so admittedly I don't have much first-hand experience with this steel. What I can tell you is that Almax is a high chromium vanadium molybdenum alloyed steel. The powder metallurgy-based production process allows for a combination of otherwise conflicting properties like high wear resistance and high corrosion resistance. So far, the edge has held up very well under moderate use. What are my final thoughts on the TiSpine? In my opinion, it's the perfect gentleman's EDC knife. It offers a fascinating fusion of form and function. Without any doubt, it is an absolutely timeless design object made of high-quality materials, almost like a piece of jewelry. But at the same time, the TiSpine is also a very practical knife. It's not too large, it's not too small, at least for my hands. It is lightweight, it is well balanced, it has a very universal blade shape, it fits comfortably in your palm or pocket. There is nothing I would want to change on this knife. The only disadvantage is that the TiSpine comes in 3 absolutely gorgeous colors, which makes the buying decision very hard. This is natural titanium with a high polish finish. The other 2 colors are purple and gold, and they all look great. In the end, I was like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I hope you enjoyed my review. Thanks for watching. Take care.